Hey everyone, welcome to Journal with Patrick. Today's prompt is inspired by a line I read the other day when I was reading the Presence Process book by Michael Brown. And it really, stopped me for a moment and made me reflect. So we aren't to beat ourselves up mentally and emotionally should we fall along the way. Falling isn't failing when we get up and continue. Falling is only failing when we allow the fall to stop our momentum before we reach completion. I find this very powerful, don't you think? So here's what struck me. Often we think that we're falling because we don't see the results that we want. If the numbers aren't there, if the outcome is what we expected, we just call it failure. And worse, we blame ourselves and beat ourselves up. So this book offers something different. So falling isn't failing. Missing a day, getting stuck, getting off track, it's part of the process. You only fail when you stop completely. What's really crazy is that a lot of people out there say that failure is learning, but I came to the realization that they never integrate failure into the process. It almost looks like the experts in personal development and business, they say, okay, I'll give you this strategy. This is the shortcut. And when you fail, I'll just get them just back on track. So the way they frame it is that failure is actually bad. They say it's not. And we just have to bring you back to where you're supposed to go. So the approach this book is taking, and it resonates with me, because then I believe this too, is that failing is the process itself. It's not the part that going wrong and you have to come back from. At the moment, speaking of the presence process, I officially started the 10-week presence process. As it turns out, there is a really long intro where you're preparing mentally to go through everything. And then the actual process or the official process takes 10 weeks. The structure is simple. There will be a daily meditation. It's actually more like a breathing session that I do twice a day. Every week has some reading materials. And what's really cool about this too is that I am given a chapter, and if I finish that before 7 days, I just have to read it again and again. I really like doing it. I don't mind, because there is a thing about repetition that, a lot of people overlook, but it actually helps you, really grasp the insights contained in the text. And then these texts also include something that Michael Brown called perceptual tools. So this is one of the biggest game changers here, because it will really help observe your life experience in a completely different way. It's interesting too, the name of this book. I think Presence Process comprises so many ideas. Like if you read the book, it's just fascinating how the emphasis and the consistent appearance of the concept presence. So, and the concept and process, presence and process, right? So this is a process. There are no results you're supposed to get. You don't have any number to chase. You're not supposed to look at how you'll lose weight, for example, how you'll increase your confidence. You don't have to allow things to unfold, because these are actions that have consequences. That's a concept that I came up with recently, and I think it's really useful when you're a person who is into self-improvement. Forget about the results, forget about the outcomes, and just focus on the things that will have some effect in your life. This book, The Presence Process, is an entire toolkit, an entire framework dedicated to that exactly. You don't wait for results to come. Things will just unfold. You are planting seeds for consequences that are going to come. And those consequences are unknown to you. So this is it's a hard exercise because you have to let go of so many things. In my case, personally, chasing results looked like, making more money, experiencing more success the way that people see it, like respect, reputation, clients, business success. But this really, turns that idea upside down. And it does it for good reason, because how do you probably know how horrible it is to just constantly, set expectations for yourself, and you don't meet them. And then the reality is that it's not because you didn't work hard enough or you were not smart enough. Most of the cases, you are forcing results that are not really within your control. That's the biggest thing. So, to me, I find a lot of relief, in knowing that all it takes is to stick to the process. The process in this case is the presence process, but you have to, look around and see what other processes, what habits can you stick to that will pay off no matter what. So it could be your health, it could be starting or growing a business, learning a skill, improve your relationships. But again, don't ask yourself, am I losing weight? Am I making money? Am I getting so many followers in social media? You don't fail by not getting those results. It's really hard. See, this is the crazy part. It's a very simple concept, but our culture tells us to be obsessed with results. And that can be very damaging. Some people are maybe fortunate to chase results obsessively and then get them. But the vast majority of us don't have the strength, maybe, or the endurance. I think that's a better term. Most of us don't have the endurance to put up with all that failure that comes from not getting the exact results that you were looking for. That's why we have to take this entirely new approach, because let me tell you this. Focusing on the process without expectations of results works for everybody. This is a major statement. I'm the kind of person who says most things don't work for everybody, but trust me, to me, sticking to a process that brings consequences is something that will work for everybody. I hope I'm right. If I'm not, just leave a comment and let me know. So, and now I want you to look back. Think about a time you were failing. Were you too attached to the outcomes? Were you writing all those beautiful goals and then feeling really bad about yourself for not getting there? Did failure stop you altogether? You're setting up yourself for failure. You may realize that. Oh, I want $1 million. So I want to be like a superstar. I want to be like whatever. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have those big ambitious goals, but they are not the measurement of your worth and your efforts. This was Turn On with Patrick. I hope you found this episode valuable. See you next time. Thank you for being here.